Hello, guys. In today's episode, I just want to tell you guys a little bit of my story. My name is Mary Michael Okon, and my YouTube name is Mirinengi MOG. Okay, I was born in a polygamous family where my mom happens to be the second wife of my dad. And at that time, the people of my community, they believed that every man had to have two wives. And my dad first married my stepmom. And due to the state, as at that time, that my stepmom was unable to take care of him and all of that, the parents of my dad decided to look for a second wife that will be able to take care of their son. And my dad happens to be a police officer as at that time. And then that was how they went in search of the second wife. They now found my mom, and my mom became the second wife. And then when they brought my mom was with the parents of my dad at that time. After a while, since my dad got a job at a very tender age, at the age of 18 years, that was when my dad got a job. And he was moved from my own community to a different community by name Obubura. So that was how, when they discovered that my mom, when already they've married my mom to my dad, they have to transfer my mom to travel all the way from the village, from Ekori community to Obubura community to go and meet my dad. And since my dad is a working class man, he needed a woman that will stay with him at his station so that each time he comes back from work, he will see something on the table to eat. So that was how they made my mom to travel all the way from the village down to that community to go and stay with my dad. And that was how my mom was with my dad in that community. And then my mom was with him over there while my stepmom was in the village. And then lives goes on, and you know that all these forcemen, they are not stationed in one place. They move from one community to another because of the role and function of their duties. They now transferred my dad from one community to another. To a point, let me fast forward it, to a point where they gave birth to me in Imo State, Okiwe, one of the states in Nigeria. Okiwe, Imo State. That was where we were. To a point, I think at the age of 3 years old or at the age of 4 years old, one of my uncles was late and we were about to travel down for the burial. And as at that time, my mom she has this gift that each time she dreams, her dreams normally come to pass. She was so spirited at that time. And then before the death of my uncle, my mom dreamt about it and told my dad, and they prayed over it. But unfortunately, it was too late. So the incident still took place. So we now moved down to the village for the burial. The name of my village is Ekori Community in one of the local governments in Nigeria. So as we moved down there, as at that time I was so little that I can't even speak my language. And it was something that all over that calls for my grandmothers to start talking about, that why can't I be able to speak my own language, only English, because in the place where I'm coming from, the people so much value their native languages. So they believe that every child you give birth to, you have to teach that child, irrespective of other languages you are teaching that child. Let that child understand your own native language. That was a belief system. All right, guys, so that was, I can remember now, the year was 1997. So after the burial, we are supposed to move back to we are supposed to go back with my dad. Everybody, including my mom and other of my siblings. I have 6 siblings, including me. We are 7. From my stepmom, my stepmom has 7, and total of the children my dad has 14 or 15 children. So my dad, as we're supposed to go back with my dad, my mom looked at the situation in the village and saw that, according to her, she said that her own siblings, they don't have where to go to each time they are hungry. So, and I think she was the only female from our own family. So she now decided to stay in the village so that she can be able to assist our own siblings and our own parents. So that was how we're unable to move back with my dad. So we now stayed in the village. And as we were in the village, my dad happens to have a lot of brothers. I had a lot of uncles. And these uncles are uncles that are full of discipline. Are uncles that will want you to be successful in life, to have a good character, to have good, I don't know the kind of English word to use and classify it, but they were there to teach us, to mold us, to become what the society can be proud of. So that was how in the midst of people I grew up with. So they were training us at that stage, how to be respectful, what the society is demanding from us. We need to be diligent, very hardworking. We need to be successful, especially in terms of our academics. We need to stand out in the midst of our peers. And that was how we were growing up. And I don't know how I am the kind of person, I don't know how God just created me. We were going to this church, Catholic church. And then at that little age, I don't know what happened to me. Each time we go to church and my mom gives me offering to give, in churches like that, you need to dance to the pulpit to go and give your offerings and all of that. But I don't know, at that little age, each time they give me offering, I don't know, I'll just give it out to somebody. I would prefer to sit down and give my offering to another person to go and put it for me than me going. That was how it was. And then suddenly, I grew up. As I grew up, still growing up, I started my secondary school. I met a friend. This friend happens to be going to Deeper Life. That was, you see, my JSS1. Yeah, if I can remember JSS1 or JSS2. I met a friend. This friend was going to Deeper Life. For people that are based in Nigeria or other parts of African countries, Deeper Life Bible Ministry. If you know Deeper Life Bible Ministry, you know what I'm talking about. So I met someone in my school. That girl was so intelligent, super intelligent. The whole of the school, that girl was so brilliant. And then I now discovered that I discovered the secrecy of her intelligence. I discovered that it's only God that can give her this kind of brilliancy. So I started. Each time I go, my parents would say we should go to church, at that Catholic church. I'll just pass I'll first of all, sometimes I'll first of all go and visit the Catholic church. Then I'll now sneak out to go to Deeper Life. Then when once the Deeper Life church has closed, I'll sneak back to that road of the Catholic church as if I'm coming back from the Catholic church. As at that age, I never knew what was happening to me until the stage when I've grown up. I now started knowing what is right and what is wrong. Guys, I started desiring for success, and I came across this Bible portion that says, "The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, and it is the beginning of knowledge." So I key into that Bible verse. Each time I want to study, each time I want to write my exams, each time I'm reading to prepare for the next class, that has always been my verse, my Bible verse, my favorite Bible verse. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, is the beginning of wisdom. That is how I've been declaring it. And my parents, they try to stop me from going to Deeper Life. That why am I going to Deeper Life? All of that. But I was still going to that church outside their knowledge. Since they didn't want me to go, I used to sneak to go, come back, sneak, go, come back. To a point that they discovered that this child, there's nothing you can do to stop her from going to that church. That was how they now left me. And as I was going to that church, I started at I wanted to write Junior Wayek, yeah. Since my dad wasn't in the village, my dad was in the States, and he needs to send money. While waiting for him to send the money for the listing, I started selling palm oil. I started doing trade by barter. That's what they call trade by barter in my village, where this type of trade by barter, my own was that I'll give you palm oil, you give me cassava. That was what I was trading on. So each time I come back from school, I'll carry my palm oil, put it inside bowl, put it inside basin, start hugging the whole of the community for them to give me cassava. I'll give them palm oil and all of that. That was what I was basically doing. And then every week, I will ensure that I have a little basin of gari that I will sell and make money from. That was how it was till I finished my secondary school. That was what I was doing. And at that age, I don't want to lack money. I don't want to lack anything. I don't want to depend on anybody. At that little age, I didn't know that God was training me at that point, that there is a time that you will grow up, that is the person I've created to become independent of yourself, depending on yourself and your creator. That is what I've created you to be. I didn't know that, but I was just doing what I ought to do as at that time. And today, we've lost our dad, and I'm able to take care of myself, my mom, and my siblings. So sometimes I just wanted to take a lesson from here. Sometimes you might not know what God is training you for. You might not know that God is training you for the future. He has seen, God sees ahead of us. He sees ahead of us. He sees ahead of us. The Bible said the thoughts he has for us are thoughts of good and not of evil, but to give us an expected end. He said, I am the God that has created you. I know you. In the Bible speaking the book of Jeremiah, he says, before you were formed in your mother's womb, that there is a reason, there is a purpose why he has created you. You might not know why he created you in that family. You might not know why he has brought you in that family. He has brought you in that family for a purpose, for a reason. He has brought you in that family that you might become a savior tomorrow. You might not know that he has brought you in that family for a reason, for an objective. And today, I'm still striving to become a better person so I can be able to help them more. Hello guys, if you are a parent here, I want you to take up this lesson from here. When you have kids, especially those of you that are coming from a polygamous homes, when you have kids that are growing up, instill the fear of God in their lives. And always pray for them. Always seek the face of God for the betterment and bright future of your kids. Coming from a polygamous home is something that's very, very dangerous. If you want your children to become better tomorrow, if you don't want your children to be wayward, train them to have the fear of God. When I mean the fear of God, I mean serious, the fear of God, not hypocritical one. It will help them to break a lot of barriers. It will help them to break a lot of curses, seen and unseen ones. It's not easy to always come out from a polygamous home and become successful in life. Especially those of you that are coming from African countries. I don't know other Western countries, but when you are coming from an African country, you understand what I'm talking about. Let them have this spirit, the fear of God in them, that they may be able to break through, pray through every cause, every plans, every maneuvering spirit of the wicked ones that don't want to see their success, that don't want to see their growth, that don't want to see their upliftment. Thank you guys. I will release more episodes, but for now, let's just stop here. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I love you all.